Hi, I'm Annette Blair, and I'm back for tutorial number 3 of the Blooming Bomber Jacket. Say that 3 times fast. Today we're going to be working on the sleeve, and the sleeve's pretty straightforward up until a point, and then it just goes off the rail. So let me show you what's going on here. My dear husband Bruce Blair is going to bring the camera around so I can show you what's going on. This is where the sleeve ended when and then we joined it all the way to here. So you're going to do several rows of just single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. These are all very straightforward. Well, the tricky part is the decreases here. You can see that the sleeve needs to come in like this so it will fit around your wrist. Otherwise, this is, I'm sure you've noticed, this is really wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the different kinds of decreases because you already know how to do single, half double, and double crochet. So I'm going to show you how to do those decreases and then we'll go on to the rest. Okay, so here's my other half. And I'm going to, this is important too, where you want to add is right in the underarm. So figure out where the underarm is. This is obviously the top here, and I've joined those together. This come across right here, that's where the underarm is. That's where it's going to be the least visible. So this is where I join, and you join the way that you do in the rest of it, which is you start with a single crochet and then chain up 2. And I'm going to do doubles for a little while, then I'm going to show you how to do the decrease. I'm just going to start this so we know how to do our doubles. Yarn over, under, yarn over, come up, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Now, if I was going to do the double crochet decrease, the way that decreases are done is you're going to go one step before the end of the stitch and then start a new stitch. So if I was going here and then I come through 2, if I did one more step, I would finish this stitch, and I don't want to. I want to decrease. So I'm going to yarn over again and go into the next one, yarn over through 2. So that's the same place that I ended the last stitch, and then I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3. I'm going to do a few more doubles and then I'll show you that again. Okay, so I'm going to yarn over under the little bridge there, yarn over, come up, yarn over through 2. Again, if I did one more step, I would finish that stitch. I don't want to, I want to do a decrease. So I'm going to yarn over again, under, grab the yarn, come up, yarn over through 2. So I ended both stitches one step before the end, and then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to come through all 3, and you can see that those 2 stitches have turned into 1. One more time. So yarn over, come up, yarn over through 2, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over through 2, and yarn over through all 3. And you can see it looks kind of like an inverted V where those decreases are. And that's going to pull in. Now on these rows, you're only going to do your decreases at the start and end of the rows. Or I think it's actually just on the ends. So that's going to be right here. So you're going to have the major pull in right here on the underside of the sleeve. So now I'm going to show you how to do the half double decrease. So a half double. Now if I here, let me just do a couple of them here first. Okay, so now I'm going to start the decrease. I'm going to yarn over, come under, yarn over, come up. If I do this last step, I'm going to finish the stitch, and I don't want to do that. I want to join it with the next stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, grab the yarn, come up, and now I'm going to yarn over and come through all of those loops. And you see how it joins all in one? So let me do another one. Let me just do a couple of half doubles in between. So again, if I do one more, I'm going to finish the stitch. So I want to start the next one and come through all of them. Let me do one more, I'll slow it down a little bit. So yarn over, under, yarn over, come up, yarn over again to start the next stitch, grab the yarn, come up. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. I'm going to yarn over and come through all 5 loops. Here. Oops. Sorry, that was a mistake. So yarn over, pull up, yarn over through all. There you go. And you can see they all look like inverted V's. So now I'm going to show you how to do this single crochet decrease. Single crochet decreases are pretty easy because it's only 2 steps really. So you're going to, let me do some singles to start. Then I go under, grab the yarn, come up. Don't want to finish the stitch. I want to start the next one. And, sorry, I think I did that one wrong. Let's start it again. Okay, so I'm going to go under, grab the yarn, come up, under, grab the yarn, come up, yarn over, come through all 3. Pretty easy, right? Now I'm coming around this corner, and you'll find this when you're knitting, when you're crocheting around your sleeve, you have to kind of pull those pieces together. So let me show you one more, or actually a couple more single crochet decreases. Under, grab the yarn, come up, under, grab the yarn, come up, and pull through both. So you're basically making 1 stitch out of 2. So under, up, like this. I don't want to finish this stitch. I want to start a new one right away. And that pulls those stitches together. So what I want you guys to do right now is to do all of these rows with your decreases from where you ended the sleeve up to this point here. And I'll start going over some of these stitches here, and then we'll end with the tapestry crochet edge. Here we're using 2 colors. Okay, just as a recap, I just wanted to show you where your decreases are. Now I was showing you decreases all across the row. The decreases are only going to happen in the underarm area. So you see that pulls it all this way. That's what gives you the small amount of stitches to start the next row. So this row was ended, the last of the straight rows were ended with a single crochet. So that's where I'm going to start and show you this next stitch here in red. Okay, so you are going to join the yarn again at the underarm. Now I'm only doing half a row here. You obviously are going to go all the way around, but for purposes of time, I am just doing across the half, just so you get the idea of how to do this stitch. So you're going to chain 3, and then I'm going to do 3 more doubles into the same stitch. So the cluster is 4. Well, sounds like we have some workmen outside, of course. We are at home here. Okay. So then I'm going to skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do another cluster into that 4th one. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to cluster into this 4th one. And this is pulling it in as well. And 4. And you're going to do that all the way around. Let me show you one more. So skip 1, 2, 3, and then cluster into the 4th one with your double crochets. Okay, so go ahead and do that all the way around, then I'll show you the next round. Okay, so we just finished this row, and now we're going to do round 7. And round 7 consists of 2 doubles, a chain 1, and 2 doubles. So you're going to do that in the gaps made by the skipping 3. So right here, you're going to start with a single crochet in any gap. First I join it, and then a single crochet, and then chain up 2. So that equals your 1 double crochet. So it's supposed to be 2. So there's 1 more double, and then a chain 1, and then 2 more doubles, and that's what that cluster is going to be. So 2 doubles, 1 chain, 2 doubles. You can see how that goes right into that cluster space right there. So 2, there's my 1 double, here's another, chain 1, that will come into play on the next row, and then 2 more doubles. 2. So you have this like split cluster here with the chain 1 in between. Over to my next space, that's 2, 1, 2, chain 1, and 2 more. Okay, so do that all the way around. I'll show you one more. 2, then a chain 1, and 2 more. And you'll slip stitch into your second chain, the original one. Your beginning stitch, you're gonna slip stitch into here on the next row. Go ahead and do that all the way around, then I will show you the next cluster. Each of these rows has a different cluster, and it kind of keeps it interesting, but it's like, whoa, keeps you on your toes. As you know, there's no sliding through this pattern. There's twists and turns at every step. So it's going to look something like that. Okay, the next row starts with a single crochet and then a cluster of 5 into the space here. And then you're going to do a single crochet right in that chain 1. Remember I said this chain 1 was going to come into play on the next row? When you did the 2 singles in the chain 1, that's where you're going to put your single crochet right into there. So let's start. I'm going to find the space in between my cluster right here, and I'm going to join my yarn and then do a single crochet. Oops, I got a little tangled up in there. Okay, so we start with a single crochet, and then here I'm going to do my cluster of 5 doubles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And now I'm going to find that space in between the doubles, and that's where I'm going to do my single crochet. And then again here, there'll be 5. So 5 in the space, 1 in that chain 1 space you created on the previous row. 3, 4, and 5. And then find my chain 1 in there, and that's where I'm going to do my single. 5 and then 1 single. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 single. So it should look like that. Here's your 5, well, you start with a single, then your 5 in this space, and then a single right here where your chain 1 from the previous row was. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and we'll pick up with the next color. Okay, so the next round is here, which is going to be 3 double crochets into the third of the cluster from the previous row. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to do 3 double crochets in there and then a chain 1 to make room for the cluster on the next row. Now keep in mind, this is getting smaller and smaller. Your stitch count is going down. I am just showing you flat across the row here. I'm not actually doing my sleeve, I'm just showing you the stitches. So keep in mind, with each row, it's going to get smaller and smaller. So I'm going to grab my blue and I'm going to join in the third. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where I'm going to bring it through. And then I'm going to do my single crochet, chain 2, and then do 2 more doubles. Now in between my clusters, I'm going to chain 1. Then I'm going to skip all of these, and I'm going to come 1, 2, 3, and do 3 in here. So this row really pulls the sleeve in. Chain 1, skip all of these. So this is where the start of my cluster is. So 1, 2, 3. 3 doubles into there. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget your chain 1. 1, 2, 3. So do that all the way around your sleeve, and then we will do the next color, the next cluster, which is different again. Chain 1, and then in here. Okay, now we have this little row in here that's going to be gone over by the row after that. So this is just a row of single crochets under here, and on the next row we're going to go into the previous row here. So let's just do that so you don't get confused. I'm going to do a single crochet, first I join it, and then single crochet, and I'm going to do another single crochet here. So I'm just doing my single crochets in between my stitches, and this again is going to pull in the sleeve, so it's going to get even tighter on your arm. See, I'm just going in between, single crochet, easy peasy. Okay, go ahead and do that round, and then we'll do the cluster on the next round. So next row, we're on this purple row here, and this is going to go into the gap from row 9. So right now this is row 11. So we're double crocheting over round 10, over those single crochets. So we're going right into these gaps here, and that would be over here. So we're going to join it. Join with my slip stitch, single crochet, oops, single crochet, chain up 2, and then do another double crochet right there. So round 11 says 3 chains, 2 trebles. So it's going to be a cluster of 3 into, into each gap. Is there a chain in between? Let's see. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to go into my next gap, going over all of those stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to skip all of these and then go right into that gap. 1, 2, 3. So your rows are getting shorter and shorter. Now it gets very exciting because we're almost at the end. 2 and 3. Go ahead and go all the way around with your clusters here. 2 and 3. So your next round here in the pink is 3 doubles in each of the gaps from the previous row. So you're going to you're going to find the gap closest to the underarm. Go through. Now it looks like on a couple of the rows I may have done a single crochet and then a chain 2. It doesn't matter. This one says to do chain 3 and then 2 more doubles. Then I'm going to skip these 3, go into the next gap with 3. We've seen this one before. You're going to do this, and then the next row you're going to do single crochets with the next color into each stitch. So do those next 2 rows, and then I will show you the tapestry crochet technique. Okay, so now we're going to do this crazy bobble part here. Now this is done using the technique of tapestry crochet, which means you carry both colors at the same time as you're doing this. So it's a little persnickety, but you can totally do it. Just take your time. Okay, so you have to decide also which is going to be your bobble color and which is your background color. I chose yellow for my bobbles, so that's the color I'm going to start with. Okay, so I'm going to join here with it and then do a single crochet. Okay, so now I'm going to do a bobble with 5 triple crochets together. Hold on, I just want to check and see if I need to do chains. Chain, oh, nope, that's right. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2 wraps under, draw the yarn up. And again, you're going to go 1 step before you would have finished the stitch and then start another one. So clusters and decreases are similar, except you do the bobble rather all in the same space instead of over several stitches. So I'm going to go 1 step before I would end it, remember. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do the first 2 steps of the stitch and not finish it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 final one. So there's 2 and there's 2. Oops. and then I want to pop my bobble out. It has a tendency to want to go in. Now here is where, instead of finishing with this, you know, whenever you're changing colors in crochet, you want to finish the stitch before you change color with that new color. So I'm going to pull this through all of them with the red. Now I've got my red and yellow at the same time. I want to use my red, so I'm going to go over, I'm going to crochet over the yellow. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, right over that yellow one. I'm going to single crochet over 1, over 2, and over 3. Now in this case, I want to finish with my yellow, because that's the next stitch will be the bobble. So I'm going to do wrap twice, come over my red, through 1, through 2. Don't want to finish that stitch. You don't even have to go over the red for the bobble, really. It's not that big of a deal, but if we're remaining consistent, you can do it. So now I have 1, 2, 3. I need 5. One more, and remember, you're going to finish with the red. So I do the first 2 steps of the stitch, then I'm going to pick up the red and bring it up from the back, and I'm going to go through all of those stitches, and that creates my bobble. Now again, I'm going to go over the yellow with my red to do the single crochets. Oh, bobble collapsed here. Over 3, and I'm going right over that yellow strand. 3. And you see, bobbles are fun. Okay, except I forgot to finish with the yellow. So and then finish with the yellow. Then a cluster, not a cluster, a bobble. 2. This is a triple crochet bobble. I feel like I'm doing gymnastics here. 2. Okay, that's 3. That's 4 and 5. And when I bring it through all of them, I'm gonna drop my yellow and pick up the red and come through all of them. And then again, I'm gonna go over the yellow. Oops, sorry, that's a single crochet. And then finish in the yellow and do the last cluster. So there you go. There's your tapestry crochet bobbles. You're going to do a single crochet for 2 more rows, and then you are finished with your sleeve. So get your sleeve done. The next step we're going to do is joining the sweater together. That's going to be very exciting because then you can try it on. And then we're going to do the pocket, and that will be, well, we'll do the pocket and the edging. That will be the final 2 steps of this tutorial. So have fun with that sleeve, and we'll see you back for tutorial number 4.